Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday mid-afternoon. Hope you're well, hope you're still enjoying the day. It's a bit of a miserable one out there, but I hope your day's going bloody well. We've obviously got game day tomorrow. We're on, game day eve. The FA Cup 4th round game against Man City at home, 8 PM UK time, depending on if you're watching that elsewhere. Obviously, I put it in the UK time. So we talk a little bit about Man City, their team news, Spurs, our team news, talk about some key battles, my predictions for the game, my starting 11, bit of the head-to-head record, all that jazz, loads to talk about, loads to kind of just get into in this game. I think this is going to be one hell of a game, and I'll talk about why in just a second. I just want to say, if you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us. And let's jump in. So, yeah, Man City, massive game. Obviously, you're talking about the treble winners, let's say it, the best side in the world. They won the Club World Cup. I think that's what it's called. Don't hold me to that one. It might be slightly different. They are, in theory, the best club in the world. And look, Spurs are their bogey team. There's no other way to put that. Spurs are their bogey team. I don't get why. I truly don't get why. Why is it that Man City can thump Real Madrid, Bayern Munich's, Liverpool's, Arsenal's, Man United's, Chelsea's, all of these amazing, massive clubs, and then they see Spurs and absolutely poop the bed? I don't ever really, truly understand it. Pep's already talked about how he wants to get one goal. He wants to score one goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and I'll put my hand up. I think he'll get it this time around. I do think he'll get it. Regardless of the injury news, I think he'll get it. In the head-to-heads, over the last 5 games, Spurs winning 3, drawing 1 and losing 1. Obviously, we drew earlier on the season, 3rd of December. That was the 3-3 game. A bit of a barnstormer, but also that we had a pretty weak squad at that time. This was slap bang in the middle of all of our injury issues. We played a back line of 4 fullbacks. We had Maddison out injured. We had loads of people out injured around that time, and we're a tad bit healthier now. We are a tad bit healthier. In theory, the last Premier League game they played was, after that, the 5th of February 2023. Spurs won 1-0. So it's all right so far. It's all right. So at home, Spurs, Spurs' 2 games at home, the last 2 have both been 1-0. And I will bloody take a 1-0 tomorrow as well. But let's talk a little bit around some of the Manchester City injury news. So, Man City, injury news-wise, I did have a look. I'm going to start with Maddison in goal. He did pick up a bit of a cut, a couple of weeks ago now. And Ortega is normally their cup goalie, their FA Cup, League Cup goalie. But Maddison is back and fit, so potentially could feature tomorrow. They also talked about how Manuel Kanji is out for the game, but John Stones could potentially be back and picked ready to play. I mean, they've got Gvardiol, they've got Ruben Dias, they've got now obviously Stones, Walker, Rico Lewis, Sergio Gomez. They've still got plenty. Nathan Ake, there you go, there's another one I forgot. There's plenty of options at the back. Losing Akanji, he's been good actually. 18 million I thought I bought before, but they've got other options. Lucky for Man City. I know it's hard to have other options. God, must be nice. Moving through the rest of the team. The rest of the team actually in the midfield wise is fairly healthy. Obviously, main man Kevin De Bruyne, he's back fit and he's absolutely firing. This boy, that's the guy who's missed that much football. He's come back. And it looks like he's not even missed a game. You can tell, as much as, I think he's 32 now, you can tell that team, as much as they are great players all across that team, he's still the guy. It's not Haaland, it's him. If he hits 5th gear, they hit 5th gear. If he hits 2nd gear, they can maybe hit 4th. But he's the guy, he's the linchpin. If you slow him down, you do start to slow them down. Him and Rodri do very much dictate games, so you've got to be on those 2. And then, yeah, the main man up top, Erling Haaland, he is supposedly out of the game. Guardiola said that he's close, but just not there just yet. So I'd assume following weekend or something like that, he'll be back. So I guess you could say that's potentially a little bit of good news for us. When we look at ourselves, we do have some all right injury news to come and talk about. Now, don't get me wrong, we are still missing a few people. We know that. But Ange was talking today, and he did talk about one James Maddison, and he has confirmed that Maddison is available to start the game against Man City. He went on to say Kulusevski has recovered. Lo Celso, Manuel Solomon and Alejo Veliz are the ones still away. They reckon Lo Celso will be back for the Brentford game, which is only in, 4 days' time. He talked about Ryan Sessegnon as well. He said, Ryan's still in rehab. We're hoping Sess will rejoin us next week if all goes well. Pretty much a reaction to so long out. We have to be careful with him. It's something he's been carrying for a while, which I get. I don't know if any of you have ever had a long-term injury. I'm not talking a little hamstring niggle or anything like that. If you've actually done a long-term injury, it still does take you a little while to actually get back up to speed. It's ironic that, you know, you look at a Bentancur who kind of just walks back in, played a few minutes against Palace, and then was up and running again. I've done the same injury that he's done. It didn't. It took me a little while longer to get going than he did. You know, obviously I'm not as good as Bentancur, but you know what I mean. So yeah, in terms of our issues, you know, you got to think we now have obviously Van der Ven and Romero back, who have had more game time as well, which is quite nice. You find that we've got the back four and keeper back to what it was at the start of the season when we were rocking and rolling. When you look into the midfield, you have Bentancur, who since the ankle injury, he's played a lot of football, but also we've had winter breaks. We've had time where he can rest and recover. So Bentancur should be up to speed now. Obviously, like I said, Madders can come back into the number 10 role. Push come to shove, Kulusevski can go in there, and you'll find that it'll be Werner, Ritchie and Johnson out up front. For me, I would probably... If Madders can give me 60, I'm going with Madders. That's the way I'm going to look at this, because as much as everyone goes KDB versus Madders, Madders will still be behind because Madders isn't going to be up to full speed. Now, KDB, I don't think is up to full speed, but KDB's a bit of a freak. And he is the best attacking midfielder in the world. Still, has been for a while. Anyone that ever thought it was Bruno Fernandes, doors over there, out you go. But when we look at ourselves, if Madders can give us 60, I'm going with Madders, and I'm going Kulusevski outright. Johnson or Werner will go on the left, and Ritchie through the centre. I'm interested about this game quite a lot for a few different reasons. Now, for me, I'm a little bit sad that we don't have a Sonny back. You know, we don't have some of our backup players back as well, and they don't have a Haaland back. I want to see these two teams really go at it, and let's just see what happens, because I want to test ourselves against the best. What we play tomorrow isn't the best. They've got issues. They've got injuries. I'd like to see what we can do with our best team as well. So I don't think you're truly going to see how these two ever would compete fully, but I think you get a good idea. I mean, the 3-3 this season, look, first half we could have been about 4 or 5 down. It's not going to be the same this time around, knowing that we've got 2 centre-halves playing. We can defend the high ball. There's no Haaland as well. Now, Alvarez is a very good attacker. I love me some Julian Alvarez, or Julian Alvarez, whatever you want to call him. I love me some Alvarez, but he is not Haaland. Haaland is the guy that doesn't need to touch the ball for 90 minutes and he can score in the 91st minute with a simple touch or a rocket, whatever, a header. Luckily, balls into the box in terms of up here, when you've got Van der Ven, Romero or Dragujin, I'm not as worried. It's the ones that in and around the floor that make me a little bit more nervous. Now, but the fact is, you got Vicario in goal, you got Porro, you got Udogie, you've got Van der Ven and Romero. Your back five is back. You've got Bentancur, a Skip or Højbjerg selection there, and a Maddison. You're starting to you see that, okay, Maddison starting, great. Bentancur back starting, fantastic. That other area, bit of weakness. Do you have an update about that in just a second? And then you're attacking 3, you actually have some options. Because, yes, if Maddison is back, it pushes Kulusevski back out to the right. It pushes Johnson either to the left or to the bench. Werner will be starting on the starting at the left or on the bench. Brian Hill on the bench. So compared to last time, we actually gain players back to allow us kind of just to have a change of system, a change of energy as well in the second half that we didn't really have last time. So at least we have that benefit this time. So yeah, you're talking about 2 centre-halves and Madders being back for the game. That isn't too bad. I can tell you that for a heartbeat. I'm loving that. My key battle, I'm not going to go KDB and Madders that everyone wants to talk about. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm talking about Rodrigo, Bentancur and Rodri. Rodri, for me, is the best holding mid in the world. Last season was magnificent. I'm surprised he didn't finish higher up on the Ballon d'Or list, if I'm honest. I thought he was brilliant. Still don't know how Messi won that, but hey, well, that's another thing for another day. And Bentancur is one of the most underappreciated midfielders in the league. And, you know, hey, you want to see if he can do it against the best more regularly? Let's put him against the best. We've seen it against Man City that he can rock and roll. What happens when now you're going to be the guy that plays the Basuma role and you have to get the ball off the back four? Because I tell you what, I'm scared poopless if it's Skip or Højbjerg. Bentancur gives me a bit more happiness around that situation. Yes, sorry, just want to tell you about that midfield area. What it is in the AFCON on the playoff tree or championship tree, however you want to call it, knockout tree, we'll call it that. Mali being Basuma's team, Senegal being Sarr's team, they actually meet in the round coming after this one. So obviously, if they both lose, they're both back. But that round, they will play each other. You will have one back regardless. And they will be back for the Brighton game on the 10th of February. So come the middle of February, we should start to actually see a pretty fairly complete midfield again. It's been a little while. I know, it's shocking. It's been a while, but we should see that. My prediction for the game, I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go 2-2. I think you can't stop them to score. They have to score at some point. They have to, surely. And we do score goals. We're not afraid to score goals. And if I had to go one way or another for a winner, I will obviously go Spurs, but I think it'll be 2-2. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, I hope you did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video if you did. Hit me in the comment section below your thoughts and feelings about the games tomorrow, your key battles, team news, all that jazz. Maybe I've missed something. You let me know. I'm always happy to learn and converse with yourselves. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, at the end of the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.